Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video, and this is a reaction to what army recruits go through at boot camp. And I don't know if this is a specific country. I assume it's the US. It's Business Insider. Yeah, it actually says the United States Army. And I mean, yeah, I know this is going to be intense, and it's going to be kind of crazy to see what people put themselves through and what people are put through just to sort of train yourself to get ready for the army or whatever it is, train yourself to be ready to be a soldier. Again, I know it's going to be intense, I know it's going to be pretty aggressive, because I've seen like clips here and there about like people in charge, people who like teaching the other soldiers to become soldiers, and like, yeah, they're just always shouting and just aggressive and like being rude, but I guess it's being rude in a way to sort of not rude, they're being very strict, and it's sort of making them, what's the word, like people in the army, soldiers, are very regimented. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't really know. But yeah, it obviously works, which is why these soldiers end up being some of the best in the world. But we're going to see the reaction. Hopefully you're going to enjoy. Links are in the description to my Instagram and my Twitter. Same for my Patreon for those who are interested in extra reactions. I've just posted a new gaming video on my second channel. Either you can find it on my community post, or I'll post a link in the comments or in the description. I'd appreciate it if you check it out. Again, it's a completely different demographic, so may not be for you, but I would appreciate it if you checked it out anyway. But if not, all is good. But we're going to check this out. Hopefully this doesn't get blocked. I feel like Business Insider is good for this. Like the Insider channels are good for not blocking videos, so fingers are crossed. But
why are you moving? Why
here we go. Bro, he wants to, right now, you see how he's speaking. He's like, oh, I want to swing, but he'll probably get knocked out, to be fair. So you can't do that. This is what you're being trained for, but it must be so infuriating to just deal with this, man.
This
is like in
Army
hell.
Boot camp. Before they join the United States Army, all recruits have to graduate from a 22-week program known as One Station Unit Training.
Does it cost money to do this course? Or to do this boot camp? Or is it for free? I guess, I don't know what it would be. Is it free or is it not?
Also known as OSIT. It happens here at Fort Benning, a 182,000-acre military installation that straddles the Alabama-Georgia border about 100 miles southwest of Atlanta.
So everyone in the US goes here to this specific boot camp or location.
Year, more than 18,000 soldiers graduate before joining the more than 470,000 people actively serving in the Army.
13, 14, 15.
Although most of the recruits that we saw during our time there were male, recruits trained together in gender-integrated platoons.
These young men and women that volunteer to serve, they show up to us as civilians, and then we take them through a transformative process to turn them into soldiers.
You just go to the position of attention, and you stay in position of attention.
On a rain-soaked week in February, we spent 4 days inside the Army's Maneuver Center of Excellence, which trains soldiers to serve in the infantry and armor branches. We saw different companies at various stages of training. On day 1, new infantry recruits on a bus from the Atlantic.
So they're turning up and they're just like normal civilians. They're probably, I mean, I guess some of these are a bit more strict or whatever, a bit more strict than the average human. I guess, maybe not, because if you're going to get into this job, I guess you're going to have some sort of strictness about you. Is that the right word? Probably not. But again, I might be completely wrong. The majority of these could just be random people who are just not ready for what's actually going to happen.
Airport arrive at the 30th AG Battalion headquarters,
going to completely change.
Where all new recruits are received.
Listen up! The only thing I want to hear from you at this point is yes, drill sergeant, no, drill sergeant. Do you understand? Yes, drill sergeant! And I tell you, you will pass your folders to the front!
The minimum age to enlist in the Army is 17, and the maximum age is 35.
17?
The base salary for an entry-level private is about $20,000 a year.
Let's go!
Oh, wow.
30 seconds!
I thought it'd be a bit higher.
Once they're off the bus, the first order of business is establishing the code of conduct.
Because I promise you, if you don't pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, you're going to make your Army career very short. You treat everybody with dignity and respect, regardless of race, religion, color, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, and all other protected categories. Yes? Yes, Drill Sergeant! Sexual assault is any unwanted physical contact in a sexual nature. So if you put your hands on another individual and you're not instructed to, or you're not saving their life, and they file a sexual assault, and it comes down that you put your hands on this individual when you weren't supposed to, that is going to be on you.
I like how he starts it with this. This is the first sort of things he says. I love that. It sort of shows the morals and the values that they sort of appreciate the most.
Kicked out of the military, and then you'll probably have to file as a registered sex offender. Do you understand? Yes,
Before they go inside, the new recruits learn some basic commands and standing positions.
Everyone look down at their toes. You should be able to fit a slice of pizza in between your toes. If you look around, they're gonna see you, cause you're taller than everyone else! Quickly!
What did he So why did he just shout at this guy? This poor guy is probably like, he's not knowing what he's got himself into. He's just like, why is he shouting at me for how tall I am? God damn.
Around, they're gonna see you, cause you're taller than everyone else!
Look at his face. Oh, he's regretting it already.
Grab one and go, it's all the same!
The recruits grab the snack that's waiting for them inside, consisting of a fruit cup, sunflower seeds, a granola bar, and a juice box.
Watch the video.
For me, I actually think that would be quite nice. As long as it's not all they eat.
In every crisis or conflict, make no mistake about it, the journey you are embarking upon will not be easy. But you wouldn't be here if we didn't think you couldn't meet the challenge.
Listen up, your last 4 year social.
After being welcomed, recruits begin what's known as processing, which can take 1 to 2 weeks before their actual training begins.
In a little bit, we'll give you a period to go in a room by yourself.
First, they're given one last chance to discreetly dispose of prohibited contraband, like drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and inappropriate photographs.
If any photo you possess on your phone is less than a bathing suit, you will not have it. You will delete them all.
Recruits get rid of contraband in an amnesty room, where they dispose of it by throwing it down a metal chute.
Is anybody confused on what you can and cannot have?
The next
Bro, I
morning,
can only bear. Imagine you get caught and you've still got contraband. You're gonna get this shouting of a lifetime at yourself, man.
the recruits report to the barber shop.
Oh, they will go bald. Oh, bro, I couldn't do that, bro. I would be screwed. My forehead size and how I would look. Oh, and my head shape. Oh no, that's rule number one. Not being done for me, man. I would not be able to do that. Not for my sanity.
One barber has worked at Fort Benning for almost 60 years.
What is the reasoning for this, by the way? What is the reason for them shaving people's heads? I probably should know that because I knew they did it, but I don't know why.
That's 1963. That's a long time. I should have been retired a long time ago, but
that's the easiest barbering job in the world. Just shave people's hair off.
Recruits are issued uniforms. They receive a series of immunizations and vaccines.
Oh, wow.
And get their official photo taken, along with myriad housekeeping details that fill up their 1 to 2 week stay in processing.
Hey, sit up straight.
That is until processing ends. And the time for training finally arrives.
So we just skip over processing.
We found a company of recruits about to begin training in the armor school.
Who's the bridle?
He looks
These
so young.
recruits are about to be picked up and taken to their barracks, where they'll reside for the rest of their training.
My eyes are killing.
Let's go. You guys are going to the front. Bus, go.
This is the last chance for recruits to change their minds before training begins, like one recruit who decided to stay behind.
Okay. So if you don't stay, if you choose not to stay behind and you want to leave after, you're just forced to stay. Cause god damn.
Bus ride from processing to their new barracks will be the most peaceful moments these recruits will experience for a while. What happens next is known as the shark attack.
Run! Run! At no time will you walk! You will run! Everyone you freaking go! Go! Run! Run!
door. Get your bags up right now. Get your bags up. This way. Let's go.
You're a tough guy. Don't move. Do something. Do something. That's right.
God damn.
Not understand this. He just said it.
Well, it's really just a little shock to the system so we can break them down to build them back up.
Fuck, I would hate this, man.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut the hell up.
We're breaking a lot of habits from the civilian world, and nothing better than a little shock to the system.
Bro, look how scared this guy looks. Oh no. Look at him. Oh, this poor guy. He does not know what he's got himself into.
Nothing better than a little.
Oh, God. The regret in his head, man.
The system to establish that
Fuck
drill sergeant
that.
is in charge to let us start our training.
Pick up your bag and hold it.
The recruits spend much of the shark attack holding their heavy rucksacks
heavy that
above
is.
their heads, which takes a physical toll.
Why is that so difficult?
You can't pick that bag up. You decided to join the army and you can't pick that bag up. Right side back, right side back, right side back.
After about 20 minutes, the intensity begins to subside, and the drill sergeant's tone changes
We only produce the best soldiers in the United States Army.
before training officially begins.
Before it begins. Just a little welcome.
After
Welcome
the
home.
shock and awe of the shark attack, things do appear to calm down.
Is it a video?
It's a movie.
I always wanted to be a star.
We found this group of infantry soldiers in week 11 of their training, practicing on the firing range. The mood was much more relaxed, and their conversations with their drill sergeants are conducted at normal volumes, like when this drill sergeant educated the recruits on the meaning
do
of
like
the
this. I
military
do like
expression
this.
8 up.
I'll let him say that again because I spoke over. But I do like this. How I mean, I would hate to do it, but I do like how they do it, and it does make perfect sense. Like how they'll sort of be really, really harsh in them and just be as, I say, nasty as possible, be as loud as possible, be as in their face as possible, try and ruffle them up as much as possible. Because you've got to try and get them in the mindset first, and you've also got to get them ready for what's actually going to be like when you're fighting or you're just in the army in different countries and stuff. But I like how they sort of go a bit easier on them once they sort of, I guess, just they see the people or the civilians that are now turning into soldiers slowly like become more and more like them, like the sergeants, etc. It's cool that they do it like this. I do think this is a really cool video to show how exactly it goes.
Drill sergeants are conducted at normal volumes, like when this drill sergeant educated the recruits on the meaning of the military expression 8 up.
Is a piece of 8 up gum good? You don't want something that's 8 up, right? You want something fresh. You break the seal, smells like olive oil, right? Okay.
That dynamic changes because we want the soldiers to become more critical thinkers. At that point, we are turning into more coaches and mentors. We dial it back a little bit, so we don't want them frightened. We want them to be comfortable and in a state of mind that is receptive to learning and performing at that level.
Up to 241 hours of infantry OSIT are devoted to marksmanship, where recruits fire about 2,500 rounds using the M4 carbine, as well as the M249 squad automatic weapon, or SAW.
We create lethality. We create expert marksmen at their individual weapons because as an infantry soldier, that's what we're asking them to do.
Recruits get one of the most painful parts of training out of the way early.
Once we check your seal, you will not touch your promat.
This group of infantry recruits was exposed to CS gas, or tear gas, in week 1 of their training.
Oh,
You're going to continue to
fuck.
fall in until we tell you to stop. You're going to place your back against the wall.
The recruits spend about 5 minutes inside the gas hut. Upon exiting the gas hut, the recruits are told to flap their arms like birds to remove excess gas from their uniforms. According to a drill sergeant, the effects of the gas begin to wear off after about 4 minutes. Some
Shit.
training moves indoors, like combatives, where recruits learn hand-to-hand self-defense tactics.
We're trying to teach them to achieve a dominant body position. So get out of one negative position and then switch roles so they end up having the upper hand in a fight.
During combatives training, recruits warm up with a particularly painful-looking exercise, referred to as the EO. While laying on their backs, they have to engage their core to wiggle across the entire room.
That must be so tiring.
They use their momentum, shoulder blades, their core
to
help them create space, warm up the body.
Recruits work up a major appetite during training. But Fort Benning is big, and they're not always within range of the dining facility. When they're training in the field, recruits are issued MREs, which stands for Meal Ready to Eat. Each comes with an entree, like this vegetarian pasta with taco sauce, along with an assortment of items like mixed fruit, an energy bar,
and this
instant French vanilla cappuccino. Recruits just add water, shake it up, and enjoy. Once they're fortified, recruits return to their training. Recruits spend up to 60 hours in training known as MOUT, which stands for Military Operations in Urban Terrain.
Door left, door left. One man calls door left.
Infantrymen are expected to fight in different types of terrain and survive and win the fight. Right now, they are getting their first taste of what that's like in an urban environment.
Rolling T. All right, coming up.
In operations across Afghanistan, Iraq, we are conducting clearance operations, and it's applicable wherever we go.
Boom.
It's important for the future soldiers' muscle memory because they are working as a team with minimal communication, and they have to understand how that coordination works together.
Do it again.
After 22 weeks of training, these infantrymen are ready to leave Fort Benning. Friends and family gather to watch their soldiers graduate on NOA Field.
They look like soldiers, they act like soldiers, they're carrying their
Bro, that must be so weird for the parents and the brothers and sisters. You've sort of seen them go in as these, again, as just these normal sort of civilians. You see them come out and you're like, is this my child? Is this what is? Are you sure this is him? Because they've just changed their whole persona, man. It must be such a weird thing to witness as a parent.
Hi. I have trainees that were not alive when 9/11 happened. I think that's pretty powerful that I still can find American citizens that want to volunteer to serve their country when we continue to ask them to go to combat.
Yeah. Incredible people.
These new infantrymen don't have long to greet their loved ones.
What?
Get on the bus!
Or say goodbye to their
friends. They go straight away.
Before leaving Fort Benning to begin their service in the United States Army.
What? So they're thrown straight into it. Wow. Wow. That was an incredible watch, man. Flipping hell. The British Army for the Queen, the Russian Army for the Tsar, the French Army for his duty, the American Army for my student lives. After watching this, I think Gordon Ramsay would make a world-class drill sergeant. I couldn't stop laughing when they were all getting yelled at by all the drill sergeants, and then they gave them fruit cups and a juice box and tea as a snack. I'm not gonna lie though, I wouldn't complain. I mean, maybe as your first meal, you'd be hoping for better, but I mean, maybe not. Maybe you're told beforehand, like, you're not in for a fun time. I mean, I guess you are. I guess they know that it's gonna be tough, right? Well, they will do. Imagine going into the wrong bus and then suddenly you're being yelled at. Drill sergeants respect everyone regardless of race, religion, gender, etc. Also, drill sergeant screams around due to being tall. Oh my god, man. You can't write this stuff. This is a good watch. I really enjoyed this. It's really interesting to see how and what goes into creating these soldiers, right? But yeah, hopefully enjoy this. If you want more of these kinds of reactions, let me know in the comments what I could see. But yeah, until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.